If you want to farm the outpost like a pro, all you need is the paddle and the nail gun. But if you are new to the game or a solo and you just want to improve your farming method and have learned all the blueprints you need from workbench level 1 under 2 hours, even after a force wipe, then I suggest you to check the whole video. No matter if you are new to the game and need some tips, or you just want your farming session to be more efficient, you are in the right place. In this guide, I will show you step by step how to farm the outpost after force wipe, how to learn all the important blueprints from the workbench level 1, and how to leave the outpost full geared and with an inventory full of goodies, all within 2 hours. For an easier understanding, I divided the whole process into 4 stages: the rotation, the safety zone, the gear, and the PvP. So let's get started, shall we? It's Thursday, and the force wipe happened just a few minutes ago. After I build the starting base, I want to farm some scrap, but the roads are busy with all sorts of people killing each other. So instead of wasting my time with them, I decide to farm in the safety area of the outpost. Once at the outpost, all I have is a rock and a torch. My first priority is to farm 200 wood before the rock will break. Then the first stage begins, the rotation. I start running around the outpost finding and farming all the barrel and road sign spawning locations. The red dots represent the road signs location and the blue dots the barrels. While farming the outpost, I'll try to make a map in my head where the safe zone area ends and which barrels are inside and which are outside of the area. After I make a rotation, it's time for the second step, the safety zone. The yellow mark represents the boundary of the safe zone. This will help me keep the loot in case someone will try to kill me. The green area is the only place in this wipe where I can farm barrels and I can take cover from the sentry turret in case of a PvP encounter. And this green area very soon will be the most important farming location. After placing a few bags in all directions around the outpost, it's time for the third phase, the gear. The main goal is to gather 95 scrap to research and craft the paddle using the 200 wood I gathered earlier. Or I can craft the nail gun, whichever I will have the necessary resources to craft it first. So I will have to recycle everything I find, even the components. The faster I craft both of them, the better. The paddle is the only item with decent damage that I can use it to farm inside the safe zone area, breaking any barrel in 2 hits and the road signs in 4. This will give me a huge advantage over other players who are still farming with a rock. The next important items after the paddle should be the armor. It is cheap to research, easy to craft, and it will increase the chances of survival on any PvP encounter. Because how many times we did survive a fight with less than 10 HP? For example, this poor guy died 1 step away from the border of the safe zone area.
No way.
If he would have had armor, probably he could have managed to get into the safe zone and keep his loot. Next, you should focus on the tier 1 weapons. The mace is a great farming weapon outside the safe zone area, breaking any barrel in 1 hit and the road signs in 2. The shotgun pipe has a very low range, but it's deadly. It can one-shot any of the low-geared players, but you need to have another weapon to finish them with, otherwise you lose your target like I did. The double barrel is powerful as the shotgun, but with 2 shots instead of 1. It can take down better geared players, and even some experienced ones are scared of this primitive weapon. And the last is the revolver, an updated version of the nail gun. It has longer range and deals more damage. To craft the ammo for any of the guns, all you have to do is to buy 12 grenades with 30 scrap from one of the vending machines inside the outpost. Then recycle them and use the gunpowder to craft 14 handmade shells or 28 pistol bullets. You won't need more than that because you won't be leaving the outpost to fight a war. If you got that far, then it's not much left until you can research the last and the most important item from workbench level 1, the satchel. And now is the time for the fun part, the PvP. The PvP at the Outpost is very easy and often comes with tons of scrap and other stuff. Even new players to PvP can manage it. All you need is patience and planning ahead. Remember that green area with the barrels where I can hide from the turrets if I PvP? That comes into the planning ahead. I study well the area and I'm trying to find all the hiding spots from the turrets. Here's a few examples.
Bro, can you help me?
Not even 1 hour since I'm farming the Outpost and I'm getting my hands on my first gun on this swipe. I didn't even have to do anything, the Outpost took care of him for me. Sometimes there might be someone sneaking behind and kill you, but unfortunately for him, he doesn't know the area like I do and he gets killed by the turrets. Because of that, I am able to recover all of my loot. Some guys farming the Outpost are very juicy, and this was an easy 200 scrap for me. Although this seems to be a very easy way to farm the scrap, you won't be the only one doing it. You must be alert for the whole time you leave the safe zone and keep an eye for the roof campers too, otherwise you'll end like me. After so much PvP and farming activity, probably you are very thirsty and hungry. If any of those 2 bars get to 0, then you start to slowly lose health and eventually die. The water, you can find it inside the Outpost for free. But the food, there are 3 options. The first and easy one is to buy 5 tuna cans from one of the vending machines with 10 scrap. They will give you 250 food points. The second option is to kill wild animals with a paddle and harvest them with a rock. But never try to kill them with a gun or a bow near the safe zone, otherwise you will be considered hostile, just like doing PvP. You can cook the meat inside the Outpost at the blue grill. And the third way to get your hands on some food is by finding food crates. And with this, your training is over. Let's have a look on what I managed to gather in 2 hours of farming the Outpost. The amount of scrap you can farm is determined by the number of players you kill and by the amount of people online on the server. A higher number will increase the respawn rate of the barrels and the road signs. With some practice, if you follow those steps, you will be able to do the same as I did in less than 2 hours. Some might say that I'm a chicken for playing like this, but I'd rather be that chicken who can craft satchels and guns than a pro like them who probably are still struggling with bow and arrow farming the road. I am Tibab, and this is the best way to farm the Outpost as a new player or a solo. If you enjoyed the video or learned anything useful, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. It will help me create more content like this. Until next time, take care and be safe.